Let me tell you something I've been turning over in my head. I think Trump probably wants out of this war, by and large. The numbers are quite telling. 8 of 9 quality polls over the past month have Trump sitting in the mid-30s. Reuters Ipsos, 36, AP NORC, 33, NBC News, 37. His lowest of his current term. And for context, one of the clearest modern parallels of that is George W. Bush, whose presidency was dragged deep into the 30s as Iraq became a political anchor around him. History is giving us a warning sign about all of this right now. Roughly 2/3 of Americans do not approve of his leadership on Iran, and Reuters Ipsos found only about a quarter saying the military action has been worth the cost. 2/3 also disapprove of his handling of inflation. The wrong tracked number is the worst it's been since he took office. Now, he ran on no more stupid foreign wars, right? He ran on inflation fixed on day one, but both of those things right now sit as wreckage. So yeah, I think he wants an exit. I think he needs one. But here's where it gets pretty complicated. Because at the same time he's signaling that he wants out, the actions on the ground tell a completely different story. We have troop deployments, we have escalatory posturing, we have swings from bellicose threats of sweeping destruction to an abrupt search for an off-ramp, and sometimes that's all happening in the same speech, much less the same week. So we have a couple of possibilities here. Either he genuinely wants to wind this down and the machine around him is keeping the pressure on, or this continues as a war of choice and he remains unwilling to fully end it. Now, the second possibility is the one that I really want to watch. Because if this war drags into the midterms, or to 2028 even, I want you to have your eyes and ears open for a very specific talking point. One that I haven't heard yet, but that I would not be at all surprised to hear. It's going to go something like this. Iran can stay in this war because its leaders don't face free democratic accountability the way American leaders do. Their elections are controlled. Their candidates are vetted. And ultimate power sits above the voters. They can absorb punishment and just keep going because the people at the top are insulated from democratic accountability. The United States, on the other hand, we're at war with one hand tied behind our back, if you will. Because every decision our leadership makes has to survive the next news cycle and the next poll and ultimately the next election. And that gives our enemy a structural advantage. Let's just sit with this for a moment. Because what they would be describing there is a critique of democracy itself. They would frame elections as a liability and public sentiment as a weapon our enemies can exploit. They would say that the will of the people, the thing the Constitution is literally built on, makes us weak. And that framing has already been floated from inside this movement. Think about Elon Musk when he went on Joe Rogan and said, pretty directly, the fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. Those are his words. He called it suicidal empathy. The idea that caring too much about individuals destroys the civilization as a whole. He described the empathy response as a bug that can be exploited. Now, he tried to soften it by saying empathy can be good if it's aimed at civilization as a whole, but the hierarchy was pretty clear. Individual human concern becomes suspect when it interferes with the larger project. Now, swap empathy for elections. Swap caring about people for caring what voters think. The architecture is already there. They just haven't applied it to war accountability yet. And if the war continues, if the midterms start to look like a reckoning, watch for that argument to emerge. Watch for the claim that democracy is the reason we can't win, that elections are why Iran can outlast us, that the American people's right to change course is actually the enemy's greatest weapon. This is the logical next step of a worldview that is already on the record. One that has already told you empathy can be treated as weakness, one that points toward a world where accountability becomes a liability and the people making decisions are insulated from the people who live with the consequences. If this talking point surfaces in any form, it is a direct assault on the premise of this republic. And you will want to be able to call it out concretely for what it is before it has time to take root. So please, keep your eyes peeled for this. Watch the framing. Watch what they say about Iran. Watch what they say about why we're struggling in Iran, because that is where the tell will be.